Now today, I'm going to read an email from one of our listeners, and I think there's going to be a lot of people listening to this podcast who are going to get a lot of value out of it. Essentially, this one's around, is my market dying or do I need more skill set? It's as simple as that. Is it me or the market? That's kind of how I'm pitching this one, because when I read through this, it's the first thing that comes to mind. So let's just go through that now. Hi, Brett. I could do with some help here. It's more of a mindset thing as well as a business, so hopefully it's an area you can advise me on. I've been recruiting mechanical design engineers for the past 2 years since I started my agency in April 2022. I've tried various methods: cold calling, cold email, general sales pitch, and then the MPC method, on and off. I've never really had much success looking back at it. And then this is where it gets interesting. He's worked on 15 roles over the past 24 months, and he's placed 4 of them. Maybe there isn't a need or there are too many agencies in this space. From my research and experience, I would say it's a bit of both, but more of the latter. I'm at the stage when I'm thinking, do I pivot into a new market, or shall I wait a little longer and wait for things to pick up, considering I've been waiting for quite a while now. My last placement was June 2023. This year will be a loss. I don't want to waste any more time, nor do I want to give up, because I genuinely enjoy recruitment and the whole process. What do you suggest? Would appreciate any advice or tips. Now, again, I'm not giving away who this individual is, what country they live in, or what their agency name is, so I feel happy to just freely talk. I will run this past this individual before we release it, and if you're listening to this today, then it's gotten the 2 thumbs up. So look, as I said, the first question that comes to mind is this: is it you or is it the market? Okay, because there's stuff in there, right? And I've speak to so many people who are in this, like, I'm not sure if it's this, if it's that, and it's the worst feeling, right? When you're in that space of grey, nothing's black and white. It's grey. We don't know if we're white or black. We don't know whether we're good or bad. We don't know if it's a market or if it's not. And so I think this is the first thing we need to do, right? And I don't know if it's just a gut instinct I have in markets generally, because I'm pretty quick to give up on a market. And what I mean by that is I will go in hard. If I'm opening up the doors for a new market and we're going, okay, we're going to go and attack this market over here. Let's just call it apple pickers. Let's go and recruit. Let's go and see if there's a market. That's my first train of thought. It's like, let's go see if there's a market. So we do a quick cut through. I'll go on the job boards. Are there jobs? Yes, there's jobs. Great. Are there recruiters? Yes, there are recruiters. Great. Are there too many recruiters? No, there seems to be a couple of recruiters per, as opposed to, maybe 10, 20 sort of jobs as a ratio. That's okay. Maybe there's too many recruiters. Maybe there's not enough jobs. That makes me nervous. But you want to see recruiters in a market because obviously they're making money in that business. So I'd start doing that, going a bit of a higher level. Are there jobs? Are there recruiters? Yes, there are. Okay. Are there sort of like groups of jobs within that apple picking? Is it apple picking supervisors that everyone's after? Is it in a certain location? So if we zoom out and look at the entire country that you service, where's the major need for apple pickers? It's over here on the East Coast, or is it over here on the West Coast? Let's work out where the majority of the need is. And that's where I gravitate. So now we're in research mode. Once you've kind of done your research, you kind of know which location, at what level you want to be, targeting this market, then we're kind of ready to just go. And what I mean by go is we want to just get busy, getting in front of clients, getting in front of candidates, and just getting a real sense and a real pulse around what that market looks like. So in terms of this market here, in this email here, my first question is it you or the market? As you say, I think it's a little bit of both, but I'm going to get into it in a second. Once you start targeting market, what you want to be doing is essentially grabbing a CV and canvassing the crap out of it with your market. And you want to do it as quickly as you can, right? The quicker you can get through this process and get, yes, hell yes, it's a market, and we can really, now put some strategy around advertising and meeting clients and putting energy and effort into it, great. But equally, we want to get to, no, this is not a market, as quickly as possible. You've been doing this for 2 years and you're still questioning the market. My gut instinct is run, because if in 2 years it hasn't improved, what is the chance it's going to improve again in the next 2 years? And you might have answers for that I don't understand. But there's a fallacy, I can't remember what it's called, but there's this fallacy that gambling people, like people who run casinos and people who run what are those slappers, the pokies and things like that, they know that when you invest money into that machine, and it is an investment, right, because you're hoping for a return. But when you put money into that thing and you're down and you're really down, the brain says, well, don't give up now because your win's just around the corner. We've invested so much. If we walk away today, we're gonna lose everything, But that's where cut your losses comes from, because you need to know when to quit. You need to go, you know what, my losses are so deep. Is your brain going, I should just keep going because I want to recoup those losses? Or do you go, cut my losses, let's pivot? I'm going to give you a red hot tip here. If you're losing money and you continue to lose money and that money's slipping away, like your time can either be in that same market which is losing you money, or you can put your time into another market which might make you money, right? So you've got to detach yourself from how much you've invested into a sector, and you need to go, where can I deploy my energy, resources, time, where it's going to give me a better return, right? So if you're a trader, whether it be stocks, crypto, whatever, property, if you've got a sinking asset price and it's just looking like it's going nowhere but down, but there's another one going up, take it out, put it in there, because you're going to catch a bottom. You're going to fabricate your bottom, and then you're going to get straight on an upward trend, right? 101 trading. If you apply the same logic to recruitment, if your market is going down, you just can't see a way out of it, maybe it is time. My gut instinct here, however, after saying all of that, is it the market, is it individual? Yes, I think that if in 2 years you haven't made money, it's probably a market issue. But I would actually say that you've worked on 15 roles over 2 years and you've only placed 4 of them. So your fill rate is low. And whilst 15 roles, if you'd filled all 15 of them, wouldn't be knocking the lights out of anyone's in terms of targets, it's probably still a decent income given that you're probably a sole operator working for yourself, and that's probably just mostly profit for you. So what if you had filled, and this is the question I want to ask you, if you had filled all 15 roles that you got on, would this be a different conversation? Would this conversation still be, is my market dead? Or is the conversation now, hey, I got 15 roles done over the last 2 years. How do I do 20? How do I get that to 30? That would be the conversation. So my advice in this situation would be, is it me or the market? We need to look at both. I would, number one, I would do a massive campaign around generation. I would be canvassing the crap out of my market. I'll be taking 2 to 3 great CVs far and wide, and I would make it my mission for an entire week to get on the phone with as many people as I can to determine where the business is. So if that business is exactly where you think it is and nothing changes out of that exercise, great, you know where that market is. The second exercise I think I would do in this situation is I would go and sit, not with me because I'm on a podcast, but I would go and sit with a trainer. I think there's a skill set deficit here. If you've got 15 roles and you've only placed 4 of them, it's either an ability, you're not taking a brief properly, maybe you thought you had 15 roles or you didn't. Flip side, maybe you should have had 30 roles, but you didn't have the nous to go and sniff that bit out. And then also speed to market. How come we're not keeping this process tight? Why aren't we closing more deals? So again, there's tons of information in this podcast around all of those tasks. But if I'm listening to this and you're in this camp whereby you're thinking, is it me or the market? I would always go and talk to a trainer and say, hey, I need a couple of days worth of help, just a refresher on X, Y, Z. Here's my situation. And I would go in and say, I've worked on 15 roles over the last 2 years. I've only placed 4 of them. I need help technically. I need help knowing that when a brief comes in, how do I know it's an A-grade brief? What are my steps from brief in to placement, right? It's brief in, write the LinkedIn script, get your ads up, get your LinkedIn messages out, get your headhunting campaigns going, then you start jumping on the calls, right? You want to do all your ads and all your LinkedIns before you even jump on the phone. Why? Because they're out there working for you, especially if you're a lone recruiter. If you're out there and it's just you on the phones and you've got no ads up, well, it's just you on your phones. If you have ads up, if you have your in-mails sent out, you've got those 2 things working for you in front of hundreds and hundreds of people in your industry doing its thing. Maybe they're sharing it with someone else that you don't get on the phone. Once that stuff up, then we jump on the phone. And what we're aiming for is 3 to 4 qualified candidates to be able to present to that client within the week. If you can achieve that, right, and get 4 CVs out in that entire week. So brief in, ads, messages, headhunts, 4 CVs to the client within the week, boom, next. Now we just manage it through. Then next week you're working on the next brief, okay? You see what I'm doing. And activity creates activity. So you want to up your numbers, you want to get busy, you want to get quicker. And I think that if you go and get a trainer, like you would for the gym, but a personal trainer in recruitment, there's plenty of them in your jurisdiction, I know. Find out how you could get better with those processes. And I actually think you may stay within this market. I know this market from Australia, and it's a good market. I don't think it's any different to where you're sitting as well. So if you sharpen your skills and your speed, I actually think you're going to do okay. So that's my red hot tip. If you're in a market, okay, and you're questioning, I've been here for a while, I'm not really making the money I want to make, ask yourself, is it me or is it the market? And then you need to go and test both of those things, okay? Go and test the market as quickly as you can. Go and get CVs and canvas them out. Then go and get a trainer, a personal trainer. Say, I need two sessions with you to go, where are my deficits? Where am I lacking? This is where I think it is. I need upskilling X, Y, Z. If you can tackle both of those things, I genuinely think you're either going to work out that it's not you and it's the market, or you're going to find out that it is you. And good news, you can work on you, okay? So that's all I had time for you today. I hope you got something out of it. Please like, share, subscribe. It really helps us grow. I'm sorry about my voice. I've had pneumonia, but I still want to deliver this content for you guys because it's super important we keep it going. Have an amazing day. May all your deals come true.